Good evening everyone, Brendan from Starpoint Australis. Thank you very much for joining me again this fantastic Tuesday evening. Well, the week that was, I think the biggest part of it, and I think it's something that I have to raise as a bit of a win. Obviously we had the Joondalup Business Association Awards on Saturday night, which Dan, Jess and myself and Sally came along to. Sally's Dan's partner, and she's starting to join us in to assist in the background a bit more. Obviously there's a lot going on. There's not too much forward facing, but there's a lot in the background that is happening. But the Joondalup Business Awards, so we didn't progress past finalists, but I think to make it to a finalist within our first year, I think that is absolutely an incredible effort. And I'd like to thank all for the team that have helped me get there, but also just to accept for myself that my passion and my dream has got us to that point. Out of that night, we've had 3 different requests from various people. One was from a local radio station, 6PR. They'd like to get me on radio with them, which is a bit scary, to basically discuss and talk through our story. Which is very, very interesting. We've got the city of Joondalup would like us to basically give a bit of a talk to prospective small business owners within the area, just to talk to them about some of the struggles and my story as well. So it's all about the story of Starpoint Australis. And then the last one is from RoboCup. It's like a school teenager. Some of you might know Lego League. Well, this is kind of another robotics for young people to get interested in STEM. So they'd like me to come and give a little bit of a chat. Obviously, Dan and I do a lot of robotics, because although this doesn't look robotics, it actually is, because it works autonomously. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. That aside, what else have we been up to? So obviously the SP3 has been in manufacture of the components, the final components. I've got more and more. I had to call this weekend a bit early just because I was going over to the City of Joondalup's awards night, but we've got all sorts of various different pieces. Now you'll see, obviously we've got Dan's 10-inch here, which has been going for a little while. We've got this little bad boy up here, which is a Quattro, so a 200 Quattro, yeah, 200p Quattro from Skywatcher. This is interesting to note. So see this little cap here, held on by sticky tape, trying to close up the tube. So this is what we were saying before with putting the end cap on and sealing up the tube. So just something interesting to note. But this is for an 8-inch, and it sits nice and snug onto there. So I'll be removing this base plate for the old focuser and installing the new one. And as you can see, it is substantially bigger. So the 3-inch is a bit of a beast on these smaller telescopes. So that's the SP3. Dan and I have also been working obviously on the firmware, ASCOM conform. So it's interesting. So we all run ASCOM conform to ensure that our devices are up to the ASCOM standard. That way then we can be assured that when you guys put these devices onto your telescopes and then use the software through your computers, that it is speaking the right language. So the new conform that's just come out has a stress tester, which basically sends just movement after movement after movement going through the full conform repetitively, and it doesn't stop until you say stop. So we ran the device for half an hour, I think it was, straight with no errors. So we're pretty happy that it's going to do what it needs to do. The other part is the firmware. So we're pretty much at that point now that we're about to release out. I'm just working on a final few little cleanups, touch-ups to make it work just that little bit better. But realistically, by the time these are installed, ready to go, I'm also going to be working on an adapter for an Esprit 80. So I'll be making the adapter. So I'll be making this component, but for an Esprit 80. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, so that's that. The firmware, the ASCOM, and the manufacturing. So as you can see, these things are starting to breed like mice. I've got a couple more sitting on the actual CNC ready to finish next weekend. That's that side of it. Tents, so I'll say that there's no update. We're still in manufacturing. That time is getting very, very close, and I am working with the manufacturers about that, but no real updates other than they're still working. The second vendor has sent their prototype across, so that's now in the post. I should see that in the next probably a week and a half or so, week and a half to 2 weeks. But the good thing about that is that when we kick off, well, once I receive those, they are identical to the other manufacturers' tents, which is good. But I'll be able to start making the videos for the setup, you know, and doing a little bit more information and making the website a lot cleaner and easier to understand. I think when I first did it, like a true engineer, all the information in my brain, it makes sense to me, but now I'm going to be putting that in a clearer, or communicating it clearer to you, the user. So that's coming up. Other than that, there hasn't been too much more going on other than me just installing base plates to radius base plates to Newtonians. And I think it's quite funny to have a look at the size difference of the 8-inch versus the 10-inch versus the 12-inch. They are substantial, and I think I might even take a photo for you guys, because not many people have access to the 12-inch telescopes, but these 10s, the 8-inch f4, the 10-inch f4, and the 10-inch f4.7s are relatively common around the use, around the general public. So yeah, I'll put these up so that you guys can see just the differences in sizes, which is quite extraordinary. All right then, guys, well, I'll leave it with that. Hopefully you have a fantastic week coming up, and I look forward to giving you some more updates next Tuesday. All right, see you later. Bye.